Hello, my dear friends. I am Professor CMA SV Shrimali. Today, we are going to talk on the subject Corporate Accounting for SYBCom. There in chapter Profits prior to incorporation. The topic we are going to discuss, that is practical example on profit prior to incorporation. So, let's have a look at the example. So, this is example number 2. Bloom Decor Limited was registered on 1st January 2019 to purchase the business of Star Decor as on 1st October 2018. So it was registered on 1st January 19 and the business was purchased on 1st October 18 and obtained its certificate of commencement of business on 31st January 2019. The accounts of the company for the year ended 30th September 2019 disclose the following facts. And the company closes its accounts on 30th September. There are certain facts like the sales for the whole period amounted to rupees 4,80,000, out of which rupees 60,000 related to the period from 1st October to 31st December 18. The trading account for the year ended 30th 9 2019 showed a gross profit of 1,92,000 and the following is the profit and loss account for the year ended 30th 9 2019. So this is the profit and loss account for the year ended 30th 9 2019. There is gross profit brought down as 1,92,000. Then there are to managing director's remuneration, to preliminary expenses, to rent, thereafter to bad debts, of which 1,400 related to book debts created before 1st 2019. To administrative salaries. 1st 2019 means before its incorporation. Then there are to administrative salaries, to interest, to debentures, to depreciation on plant, to office expenses, to formation expenses, to commission on sales, to telephone charges, to advertisement, to traveling expenses, to interest to vendors at 6% on rupees 2 lakhs from 1st 10 2018 to 31st May 2019. Then to dividend on shares and to net profit carried down. So this is what about the profit and loss account for the year ended 30th 9 2019. Before solving the example, let's solve some working notes. These are some working notes for our calculation purposes. The first working note is important dates. Date of purchase as per given in our example. So we have purchased the business on 1st October 2018. Date of incorporation or registration, it is also given in the example as 1st January 2019. Then date of obtaining certificate of commencement, it is the company is commenced on 31st January 2019. So it have registered on 1st January and it has obtained certificate of commencement as it is a public company on 31st January 2019. Date of financial close is 30th September, which is also given in our example. The second important working note is the calculation of time ratio. So time ratio, for calculating it, we have to divide our time according to pre-incorporation and post-incorporation. So pre-incorporation time, we can see that is from 1st October up to 31st December. So it will be October, November and December, that is 3 months. And post incorporation period is from 1st January to 30th September, which is the financial year end. That is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August and September. These are total 9 months. So we can got the ratio as 3 months to 9 months, that is 1:3. After calculating the sales time ratio, let's calculate the sales ratio. Again, pre-incorporation sales and post-incorporation sales is equal to total sales. We required to bifurcate our sales into pre-incorporation period and post-incorporation period. In our example, they have given us total sales of rupees 4,80,000, out of which 4,20,000 is related with the post-incorporation period. Hence, rupees 60,000 is our pre-incorporation sales. And the ratio, if we calculate, it comes as 1:7. Now next important working note is allocation of bad debts. As bad debts of rupees 1,400 were related to big debts created before 1st 2019, that means before registration, that is pre-incorporation. The remaining bad debts of rupees 2,600 must be related to the book debts created after 1st 2019, that is post incorporation. So in case of total bad debts, out of that 1,400 are related with the pre-incorporation period, which is given in our example. So remaining 2,600 must be related with the post-incorporation period. Thereafter, allocation of interest to vendors. Interest to vendors rupees 8,000 is paid at 6% on rupees 2 lakh from 1st 10/2018, that is from purchase of the business from 1st October to 31st May, which is for 8 months. Hence, if we calculate it as per month, rupees 8,000 upon 8 months is equal to rupees 1,000 per month. So again, pre-incorporation and post-incorporation. The pre-incorporation period is from 1st October to 31st December or 1st January, that is 3 months, and post-incorporation period is from 1st January to 31st May, where or in which date the interest is paid, up to which date the interest is paid. It is total 8 months. Hence, our 8 months must be divided into pre-incorporation, post-incorporation, which is 3 months and 5 months. So by multiplying rupees 1,000 per month to 3 months, we get 3,000 as a pre-incorporation interest paid to vendors, and 5,000 into 1,000 we will get as 5,000. So 5 months to 1,000 we will get rupees 5,000 as a post-incorporation. Hence, we have calculated our working notes for solving purpose. So let's solve the example. Look at the table. Upper side, it is in the books of Bloomer Decor Limited. Statement showing profits prior to and post incorporation for the year ended 31st September 2019. Again, there are columns like particulars, basis of allocation, ratio, total amount, pre-incorporation amount and post-incorporation amount. In the example, we have already given with the gross profit, which should be divided according to sales ratio, that is 1:7. So total gross profit is 1,92,000. As it is receipts, it is recorded as in the receipt side as 24,000 for pre-incorporation and 1,68,000 as post-incorporation period. So total of receipt side is 1,92,000, 24,000 and 1,68,000. As we don't have any other receipts, gross profit is our actual receipts. Now come towards the expenses. Managing director's remuneration. Managing director remuneration is related with the, if the company gets registered, only then we have to pay the director's remuneration. Hence, it is related with the post incorporation period. So the total expenses of 10,100 are going to be paid in post incorporation period. Then preliminary expenses. Again, it is related with the expenses for formation of the company. So these are also related with the post incorporation period. 1,500 are totally get paid to the column of post incorporation period. Thereafter rent. Rent is a fixed expense, hence it should be get divided according to the time, which is 1:3. So 9,600 should be get divided as 2,400 and 7,200. Bad debts. For the bad debts, as we have done just working note, so actual 4,000, and hence as we have done the working note like 1,400 for pre-incorporation and 2,600 for post-incorporation. Administrative salaries, as it is fixed, it should be get divided according to time ratio, which is 1:3. So total 24,000 are divided as 6,000 and 18,000. Interest on debentures, it is related with the post incorporation period, because when the companies get incorporated, it creates debentures. So total amount 12,000 is going to be paid in post incorporation period. Depreciation on plant, again fixed expense, time ratio 1:3. So 7,200 is divided as 1,800 and 5,400. Office expenses, again fixed, divided as time ratio 1:3. So 3,600 divided as 900 and 2,700. Formation expenses, which is again related with the company's formation when the company or after the companies get registered. So it is related with the post incorporation period. Hence 4,800 are totally paid in post incorporation time. Commission on sales, again related with the sales, hence must be divided according to sales ratio, which is 1:7. So 7,200 divided as 900 and 6,300. Telephone charges, which is again fixed expense, divided as time ratio 1:3. 4,800 are divided as 1,200 and 3,600. Advertisement, related with the sales, hence 1:7. 8,400 divided as 1,050 and 7,350. Traveling expense, again related with the sales, that is 1:7. So total 16,800 must be divided as 2,100 and 14,700. Then interest to vendors, we just have seen working note for that purpose. So actually working note we have done 8,000, and under working note we have calculated the interest, which is 3,000 for pre-incorporation period and 5,000 for post-incorporation period. Dividend on shares, when the companies get incorporated, after that the company pays the dividend, hence it is related with the post-incorporation period. So total amount of 20,000 must be paid in post-incorporation period. In this way we have bifurcated our expenses according to pre-incorporation and post-incorporation. So the total receipts are, in case of pre-incorporation, which is 24,000, and for post-incorporation, which is 1,68,000. And total expenses for total years 1,42,000. And after deducting the total expenses from total receipts, we get the net profit as 50,000, which is again divided as capital profit and revenue profit. So capital profit comes as 3,250 and revenue profit comes as 46,750. So I hope in this way you have understood the second example from this profit prior to incorporation. Thank you.